Hi there, spinning friends. Welcome back to another Spinning Sara video. This is going to be a start to finish compilation style video where I walk you through spinning this fiber. I will tell you how I break it down. I'll show you how I break it down. I will talk to you about why I make the decisions that I do. We're going to have little snippets of me spinning with the singles and doing the plying. And then I will show you the finished yarn once we're done with it. This fiber is from Wound Up Fiber Arts, and it is in the colorway Ice Castle. And it is a Targhee bamboo silk that I had put up in a vote on the channel, the community tab, not too long ago. This one's up next. So we're going to break this one down and get spinning. So let's jump into it. All right, guys, so we're going for a bit of a wide angle on this shot so I can hopefully get everything that I'm going to do in the camera. So let's go ahead and start by looking at this. And I'm thinking what I would like to do is, let's tip you guys up a little bit. I think I'm going to unbraid this and see if I can find any color repeats. And then if there are, great. If there's not, great. Either way is fine. And then we'll decide how we're going to break the braid down. So first, let's take the tips. And it's not quite a color repeat. There's big sections of pink right here with just one little blip of purple. So I don't think that's a color repeat. So let's see if we can find it, because I think there might be one. But I could be wrong. I don't think there's a dedicated color repeat. So I'm thinking what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to split it in half. So I'm going to find the tips again. And I think I want this to really mix these colors together. So I'm going to break it right in half. Now I'm going to take this half and chuck it over here. And now we're left with this one. This one has a pink blob and a purple blob and a darker blue. And the other one has much more pink. So I think let's go ahead and split this one lengthwise. Okay, so now we have two pieces that are exactly the same. And this one, we're gonna break in half again. So now that's in two pieces, and we'll do the same thing over here. And I'm not worried about it not being perfectly even because of how I'm gonna be doing this. So now we've got 4 pieces of this little baby colorway. See, we've got our 4 pieces. Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to break off about an arm's length, a whole bunch of times, as many times as I get, probably once more. Yeah, we'll just even that one up, okay? Now I'm going to take this one and I'm going to split it in half again. This isn't a true fractal yarn. It's just kind of a, I guess, a way to make pretty mud. I want all the colors to mix and marl together. And so now what I'm going to do is, instead of going to my elbow, I'm going to go halfway up my bicep and break it there. This one we'll just leave really long. And then this one, we're going to make pretty short. We're only going to go halfway up my forearm. And I will take all these pieces that I make and jumble them all up. All right, so we've got this pile and this pile of skinnier pieces, same basic. This is really tiny little pieces. Okay, this one, we're gonna do tiny little pieces again, but this one we're not splitting down. So we're gonna leave this one, and I'm just gonna not even measure this one. I'm just breaking off chunks. There we go. Now this last one, I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to split it. And then I'm going to find the halfway point and break it, and that's it. And now we've got 5 piles, 5 piles of different lengths, and we're going to do the same thing with that one. So I'm going to take all these and put them in a pile and chuck it over there, and do the same thing over here. Let's split this one in half, and then in half, and in half, and in half again. So we've got some thinner stripes going on. We'll do this one like this also. And this one in half. All right, so these 2 sections are really long. Yeah. They're really, really long. And let's go ahead and chunk these pretty small. These are thin pieces, chunked up pretty small. And then this one we'll leave as a thicker piece, but also chunk it up small. Now we'll leave this one. Ooh, there we go. We'll leave this one and this one. We'll leave these 4 into longer, skinnier sections. And then this piece, I'm going to be real crazy and leave it as is. Okay. So we've got lots of different thicknesses of fiber chunks. We've got lots of different lengths of fiber chunks. Between the 2, we're going to be able to have lots of variation in color length and how quickly it repeats. These are all really tiny. This one's medium. These are all really tiny, 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 longer, 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 medium length. All right, so now I'm just gonna take these things and kind of, not necessarily make nests out of them, but I want them to be able to get tumbled around, so they don't get caught on each other, because we're gonna dump them in a basket in a second. So the tidier they are, the better. The idea behind this is while I'm spinning, I'm not going to know whether I'm grabbing a great big one, a tiny one, what have you, because that way I will be able to get the colors to randomize as much as possible and mix as much as possible. These little shrapnel-y pieces, I think, are going to have to stay little shrapnel-y pieces, because I don't see me being able to, I guess I can, make teeny tiny little knots out of them. These are chunky ones. Tying them up like this is going to help me be able to just reach in my basket and grab one without grabbing 14 of them. Also, it's going to help me shape the whole basket to make everything more randomized. Okay. I could have been really crazy and done the entire braid in these super tiny little chunks and then spun them all completely randomly without allowing any of the colorway to remain intact, and they would have all been a giant pile of these, which would be cool, and maybe I should do that next time. Because then plied back on itself, it would be completely random. No rhyme or reason. All right, so now what we're gonna do is take this basket, this gigantic basket that I have, and we're going to take all these little babies and chuck them in there, and these, and these, and these, and these, and then this big mama that's everything. And just plop it in there, okay? And at random, without looking or anything else, I will reach into this basket and grab a piece and spin it. And I'm going to spin this braid of fiber on my rose spinning wheel. And I will let you know what ratio and things like that I'm on once I get there. All right, guys, so here we are. We're getting ready to start spinning, and I'm attaching the fiber to the leader. And you're going to see several wardrobe changes throughout the rest of this video. This was done over quite a few days. So I am spinning this on my rose. I'm using an Acreworks bobbin, and it is using the lace or the baby flyer. I am spinning this on the 7.6:1 ratio, which means my flyer is going around almost 8 times for every time that the big wheel goes around. As you can see, I am spinning this with a short forward draft. Yes, I am a weirdo with a weird draft. I am self-taught, as I'm sure you guys know. So my actual method of drafting is a little bit different. I have several different viewing angles for you on my hands throughout the remainder of this video. If something is important, I will pop in and talk to you. Otherwise, it's just going to be a couple of different clips of music, and I will show you the regular speed of my hands for a little bit, and then I will do a fast forward through, or a faster version of it through the rest of it, so you can still see everything that I was doing, but it'll be at a much faster clip. All right, so here we are. We've made it to the final little teeny tiny baby nest, and we are going to go ahead and start spinning it. Sorry for a little bit of a wobble. The gooseneck that I'm using for the camera wanted to wobble a little bit. So here we go. We are joining this fiber fluff on. And this will be a quick one because it's such a tiny little nest. All right, so here you can see I am attaching everything to my singles onto my ball winder, and I wasn't really loving the noise that was coming from my Lazy Kate, so I switched over to the rose carrier that came with my rose spinning wheel and tilted it so it was at a good angle. And that was going to be able to afford me the ability to wind this off quietly because my husband was actually working in the background, so we didn't want a whole bunch of loud clackety noises or anything like that while he's in meetings. So I am going to spend the next few minutes winding this off and making a center pull ball. All right, so here you can see I take my thumb and I push it into the center of this cake. So it sticks just out the other side because it keeps things nice and tidy and doesn't really let the ball go crazy. I know a lot of people have trouble plying from a center pull cake, and it's because as things unwind, they get all tangly. One from the outside is going crazy, and the one on the inside kind of clumps up every once in a while. It's really weird. So I put my thumb in the center in order to keep it from misbehaving. It's not perfect. As you will see later, there is a point where I do have to stop and pull back and detangle some things. But it was pretty minor. There's only, I think, like 2 instances where it got really kind of, I had to pull back and pull the ply apart to be able to rescue a pigtail that slipped through. And one time during this whole thing of me plying, I actually had an underspun part in my single and had to put it back together. So that is in here also. Most of this is going to be sped up for you guys. The parts where I have to stop and fix things, I will slow down for you. Otherwise, this is going to be a speedy go through plying. And here is the first part where I have to peel back the plies because we get that pigtail right there. Snuck through and I had to rescue it. So I peel apart the plies and straighten out everything, and then it broke. So I had to double fix it. So here you'll see me pulling apart the plies again in order to reattach the single. And this was a little trickier because I didn't want it to continue to fall apart. So I nestle that broken single into the two existing singles and let the twist jump over that little fluffy piece, and then straighten everything out nice and tight and let the twist go into it, and voila, there we go. We're back in business and everything is good. All right, here is my second tip for success on plying from a center ply pull ball. You saw I took my ring off, and now because I've plied sufficiently, I can open up this cake and actually shove most of my hand into the ball. And that way it doesn't flop around, it doesn't jump anywhere, and I'm able to control the single from the inside and the outside and prevent it from getting all snarly so much easier. It allows me to put pressure on the individual singles to keep them straight, and I just have so much more control once I get to this point. So I try to keep my thumb in for as long as possible, and then once that becomes unruly, I get to the point where I can put my whole hand in the center of the ball, and then we're good to go. And with the magic of editing, it's all done. Now I'm going to show you guys how I wind on my Niddy Noddy. Mine has a bicycle latch on the handle, and it came from Paradise Fibers a really long time ago. You'll see that I end up leaning left and right here in a little bit. And basically what that does is it allows me to rest one of my shoulders and let the other one do the work for a little bit. So here we go. I lean on my left arm to make my right arm do the work to give my left arm a bit of a break. And then I will switch and lean on my right arm and let my left arm do the heavy lifting. So it doesn't weary your shoulders quite as bad when you do it that way. I look like a bit of a goober, but it really has been very beneficial for me to alternate which arm is doing the work, so it's not quite so tiring. Now we're going to speed it up and go really fast. Three, two, here we go. It's the finished yarn. It really, really poofed in the bath, but I did whack it extra. And it was right at 15 wraps per inch. Here it is, all beautiful and finished. All right, friends, that is all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have liked this type of video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more of this type of video, please leave a comment down below and let me know what other kinds of start to finish videos you'd like to see. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really does help with the algorithm and all the magical things that happen behind the scenes. For you all who are wondering yardage, this turned out to be 396 yards of a very, very poofy 2-ply. It was a lot of fun to spin. I love how the colors turned out. It did exactly what I wanted it to with all the color mixing and marling. And I'd like to know what you guys think of it. So leave me a comment and let me know. Until next time, guys, happy spinning.